What's up, Starcraft fans? Today we're doing the tier list for bad weather. Brian, let's hear the mutation.
Rifts to Core Hall is the map where we have to destroy 10 void shards before timer runs out. Each set of void shards we destroy adds time and reveals the next set. Void rifts spawn every 90 seconds. They continuously spawn enemies until you get overwhelmed or you destroy them. Tornadoes roam the map and throw your guys in random directions.
We have Twotuuu and Baumanmarketing in the call with us today. How are you guys?
Great.
Fantastic.
Fantastic. That is the best response I've gotten so far this year. So, Baumanmarketing, how will we rank the commanders this week?
How will we rank them?
Yes.
Okay, so it's well, which one can defend better early game because it's rifts to core hull, and which one can of course deal with the rifts that's most important.
Okay.
So
How about you, Twotuuu?
It's basically one of the easier Void Rift mutations. Twister kind of just exists. It's a nuisance, but not really a factor. So commanders who can deal with the early rifts plus 2-minute wave plus get things under control, then they'll do better. And then commanders who can deal with the shards. So this one, since there's no polarity, like snipe strategies are perfectly viable. You can take care of all of them yourself.
That's true.
yeah, that's it.
Let's begin. Abathur, where do we have him?
All right, so at this point, it's pretty much, I guess this should be like a given that for Abathur, if you can't biomass farm early enough, you should just yourself drop him a rank. But the commander himself, it's good. So if you can get a brutalist by the not even 220, just like 235-ish, you can take care of the rifts and the first wave pretty easily. And then from there, it's not that bad. So yeah, you just attack. You only need 3 Leviathans to attack the shards, and everything else can be on defense. If you want, and you're using P2, you can use Swarm Host to also attack the shards from far away. I put Abathur in A.
Okay. How about you, Baumanmarketing?
Well, I kind of agree because the enemy composition is enemy race actually is the most important, because if you have Zerg, then you can get your first brutalist just from the first shard guards, and then it's really easy. If you get like Sky Terran or Reaper Liberator, then even that, the guards plus the first wave will not be enough for a brutalist, then it's a little bit harder. So yeah, I think A tier should be okay.
All right. I actually had him in
And you
B
can
too,
also
but...
and you can also earn you can also use Ravagers there. I mean, I love Ravagers, but Swarm Host Ravagers, they all work.
Okay, I put him personally in B tier, but you guys both said A, so let's put him in A. Prestige-wise, do we want no prestige or the second prestige here?
The second one, but if you go if you want devours for the shards, then you go 0. Otherwise, it's P2.
All right, let's put him in A tier. Alarak, where do we have him?
Alarak. I don't know. Alarak is not very good early. Plus, you have to defend the first wave. Okay, you have the overcharge, but then the rifts and I don't know, maybe D tier or so, or maybe I don't know if you have the P3, if you can actually get mothership fast, then
you can, yeah.
Then it might be even B tier, but you need
Sorry,
a micro.
B tier? You said B tier? B is in Baumanmarketing? All right. So you said B tier. How about you, Twotuuu?
So if you use the double gas before any probe opening, you get your first mothership by 235.
That's
so
on time.
So one of your probes will go out towards the rift, and then you stay away from the path of the trickles, and then you can dump a pylon and overcharge it and kill a rift, and maybe even the first wave. If it's not along the path of the first wave, then you can save your overcharge for at home, and you take care of the other one with the mothership. But after that, you're gonna need destroyers. You cannot F2 with him because you need to keep destroyers in key places. And Twister makes them kind of die, but and Alarak will be on anti-enemy, just the regular enemies, while the mothership does the objective and gets far rifts. It's a lot of micro, but he's not that bad. I put him in B.
Okay, so both of you guys had him in B. I also, by the way, had him in B. So let's put him in B. He has 1 prestige here, the third one, Shadow of Death. Do you guys agree?
For any void rifts, yes, only Shadow.
Pretty much, yes.
Yeah, you pretty much need the mothership here. Arcturus, where do we have him?
So this is his map, like Rifts to Core Hall. He can bomb the second, third, and fourth, even the first, but you don't really have to. You can just ESO them. However, before you can even do the ESO thing, you must survive the early game, which he can kind of do. So he's pretty good at dealing with rifts. With Merchant of Death, you get a lot of firepower in the early game, and you can bunker drop one of the rifts early on without any trouble. And then like 6 troopers, armed troopers, can get the other one. I put him in A.
Okay. How about you, Baumanmarketing?
Well, I agree. Yes, the troopers are good. They're also good. Explosives are also good to do the rift killing. So if if some units already get out, it's no problem. You kill them easier, and the rift too. And the splitters can do the shards. So I don't see much problems with that prestige with the Arcturus. But prestige wise, for this, otherwise you use kind of toxic the toxic tyrant on this map, but this time, of course, when there are void rifts, you need a Merchant of Death.
Letter?
A tier.
Okay, so far so good. We're all in A tier. So do you agree to 3rd prestige, Merchant of Death?
Yes.
Right.
For void rifts, you pretty much don't want anything except P3.
You want the power to destroy the rifts.
Stronger troopers.
Yeah, you want the ability to nuke the shards or the void rifts Oblivion Express. So Arcturus goes in A. Artanis, where do we have him?
Artanis, poor Artanis. I really don't know which letter would I, but it will not be very high letter, because you have the Archon dudes, but Archon dudes cost energy, so eventually you run out of energy and you might be in trouble there then. So I don't know, Artanis, maybe D tier.
D tier. Okay, how about you,
D-tier.
Twotuuu?
So for the first wave, he can triple zealot one and then orbital strike the other. And then when the attack wave comes, you can either help out with orbital strike or just kill it entirely, depending on what the enemies are. Later on, it's like Alarak, except much harder because his hit squads don't lie. So you have like Dragoon, groups of like 3-4 Dragoons in random places, and eventually you get like Tempest, but you don't have a hero.
Sorry, I was thinking
you don't
about
have a hero
Tempest.
unit.
Yeah, I don't have a hero unit.
So yeah, because Alarak has a hero unit that can fight attack waves, whereas Artanis doesn't. So you pretty much need you actually don't want to overmake Tempest because you need a lot of energy for shield. No, not energy. You need a lot of your army on defense against the attack waves, and then you actually don't need to. You don't need like more than 10 Tempests. So 8 to 10 should be enough to like kill everything in the base, anyways. I recommend P0, not P3, because P3 requires you to have vision before you attack rifts, and sometimes you're just not in position.
That makes sense.
I put Artanis in C.
Okay.
C. But how do you? But how do you survive early without the Archons? You have the rifts.
You orbital strike one, and then you orbital strike the attack wave. Although if you have an ally, you probably get some kind of help because you can take care of 2 rifts by yourself with no help, and then depending on where they spawn. But then you're on like 1 probe on one side and then 3 zealots on the other side, and then the attack wave. If you stall with a building, you can orbital strike them again and kill most of the stuff.
So you just tank until the cooldown for orbital strike elapses. All right. What do you think? Baumanmarketing, is C okay?
C. I don't know. I would put him in D because it sounds easier than it really is actually. So I would actually put him in D.
D. Have you considered that he just uses Tempest to just go around the side of the map and just snipe everything without having to go through the bulk of the defenses?
Yeah, but you still need to kill the rifts and the attack waves.
Yeah, but he can do something. So does that not warrant a C at least?
Well, so C for the tier list means like you do your half, right? So I think he can at least do his half of the work.
Okay, that sounds fair.
All right, let's put him in C. Prestige wise, you're saying no prestige to?
I think 0 is better.
And you're saying 3rd prestige is better, Baumanmarketing.
To be honest, I don't have a nerve to play Artanis when there are void rifts, so I was thinking Archons are easier options and they are powerful, but for.
They cost a lot of
But,
energy though.
yeah, but yeah, it costs a lot of energy, so it might be better, P0 if you know what you're doing.
Plus,
No.
with the garden shell, you can kind of reach into where you need to get vision for your solar bombardment with the Zealot, whereas you can't necessarily do that without garden shell.
Okay, yeah, that is
Yeah.
a thing. That is a thing, and solar bombardment is really good for
And
clearing.
with P0, you can use your pylon field as a call down on a rift. You just drop it, warp in 3 zealots, and right click it, and the enemies that hit you, who cares? It doesn't matter.
That's right.
They're just there
yeah,
to kill a rift.
All right,
Yeah,
so we'll go with no prestige for Artanis here. We'll recommend no prestige. Dehaka, where do we have him?
Dehaka, he is micro intensive. So once you survive the early game, you get creeper hosts, and the game is like the shards are free kills basically.
Basically.
But the early part is kind of hard.
Kinda
So
hectic.
if you're doing double Haka with P3, then you can fight rifts. Your early game's a lot better. You can actually build 2 wardens, and you have one like standing up at home to help with the wave, or you have like you stall, and then the Hakas can deep tunnel back home to help kill the wave. Where did I put him? I put him in B because the micro is pretty intensive early on, but once you get things under control, you just control close rifts with impalers, far rifts with greater primal worm.
Okay. How about you, Baumanmarketing?
Yeah, I agree on this. Although I don't play much of a Brood Brother, but Brood Brother I think is the best here because then you have 2 Hakas to slap the rifts, and I might add that you might wanna go for a greater primal worm mastery just to be able to get on top of the rifts that
Okay.
are farther. So
Letter B?
so letter B, yeah.
All right, so both of you actually had him A, but both of you said B, so let's put him in B. Prestige-wise, you want 3rd prestige here?
I mean, if we have Abathur in A, then the Haka I think is a little bit lower, so B should be. Yeah.
That makes sense. Okay, so 3rd prestige here for the double slappy boys. Let's move on. Fenix, where do we have him?
Oh, Phoenix is kind of the least played commander, but Kaldalis might be pretty good here. I mean, Kaldalis is always kind of pretty good, but we only have 1, so I think early game might be a little bit of a problematic thingy. I put because you have that early wave, and you also need to deal with early rifts, and you have Phoenix only at 4 minutes. And you don't have anything like Alarak has the overcharge and the things, so I don't know, Phoenix maybe C or D even just because of the early game.
Okay, how about you, Twotuuu?
I like to call a network administrator Lone Wolf Light. It's like you play Phoenix P2 against Rifts like it's Lone Wolf, except each champion is just worse than an outlaw. So you have different outlaws. Not outlaws, different champions guarding different sections of the map. And then eventually Kaldalis just right clicks shards. So Kaldalis is not going to be killing rifts. He's mostly going to be killing shards. And for the first one, you can kill 1 rift and then run home. So you can kill, if both rifts are very far, that's unfortunate. But if even 1 is close, you can survive. You just need to chrono out extra shells, and then you'll slice everything to death, because you have a lot of damage. Later on, you should spread observers over the dead spaces, so you can warp in like a zealot suit and then kill a rift, or arbiter suit, kill a rift, and then Clolarian Mojo will help out later on. Warbringer is in the ESO island, and then Tal'Darin and Talus is weak. Talus by herself is too weak to take care of rifts, so Talus can join either Kaldalis, but I'd rather Talus join one of the Tal'Darin. Anyways, I put
Talus can do bonus.
Yeah, Talus can do the bonus or do something else. I put Phoenix in C because even when I played, I know what I'm doing, but it's just very, very hectic. There's just so much going on.
Early game, his survival, it sounds pretty hard to me because you can have Kaldalis relatively early, and probably Talus also relatively early, but you have a lot to do. Do rifts and the early attack wave. It's gonna, especially if they are spread out very far from each other, then
they're all over the place. So anyway, I also have Phoenix in C. Let's put him in C. Prestige wise, we want the second one here.
It's P1 can be used against rifts, but I think P2 is just better.
All right.
General.
Han and Horner, where do we have him?
So Han and Horner, For Han and Horner, since this is a sniping objective map, P2 is preferred, so you can use lots of wraiths in the mid-late game.
Yeah.
So once you get to survive the first rifts, you will with P1 you double magmine a rift. With P2 you triple magmine a rift because some enemies might spawn and kill some of the magmines. So you triple magmine one, and then you use one galleon plus 2 hellions on the other, and then it will die. And then your hellion can turn into a hellbat, or you have a hellbat at home plus magmine, or just depending on what enemy comp, you can run back home and help out. Once you survive the first one, it's actually pretty easy because your strike fighters can kill all the rifts.
Yes.
Twister kind of gets in the way sometimes, but for the most part, you will kill rifts in 2 shots as long as you get the fire upgrade by at around 7 minutes, so it's ready by 8 minutes.
Yes.
I
so
put
ladder.
Han and Horner in A.
How about you, Baumanmarketing?
Yes, I agree. But there's one thing. Before, I think mag mines were pretty stronger. Remember when before the Starcraft fixed that bug that was like they did some more damage in the center or something. So you only needed 1 set of mag mines to kill a rift, right? And now you need 2.
Okay.
If I remember correctly.
No. The rifts
So,
were
yeah.
never air units. The previous magmine bug only worked against air units when each magmine individually dealt all 5 damage, all 5 magmines worth of damage together. So that one was fixed, but it didn't matter for the void rifts because
it didn't matter for the ground.
it never did.
Okay.
It only mattered for air.
Okay, but yeah, it's kind of pretty easy because you have galleons that you can have them very early and they fly. That's also very helpful. And the mag mines, and later when you get to all 10 platforms, then you have nothing to worry about. And actually, the layer of the map, how this map works, because Rift to Korhal is pretty easy map, other than that earliest, other than the thing that has earliest attack wave, it's actually easy. All the waves spawn at exactly the same time, exactly the same place. So that makes Han and Horner's gameplay a lot easier.
So ladder.
Because ladder A.
Okay, unanimous. I was briefly considering putting Han and Horner in A, or in S rather, but like I was looking at the other guy who was definitely S here. Yeah, they're not that level, so I'm fine with A. Let's all put them in A. Prestige-wise, do you want the second one or the first one?
Definitely
I think
first. The second one's better.
Because
Second
you want to
one.
get pushing power with your Matt Horner units, which is completely understandable. You need pushing power here. All right, so yeah, let's go with the second prestige.
Yeah, but okay, but it's easier. But early game is easier with P1, so everything has its benefits. Yeah, like faster magmas definitely help if you're using a chaotic power couple.
I guess it helps you have a little bit more of sort of wiggle room to have a bit of delay when putting down magmines. I guess
So-
that also applies.
If your focus is on the rifts and waves only, then use P1. If you're gonna snipe, if you're focused on rifts plus objective and less on the waves, then use P2. Although P2 can also handle waves, but not as well as P1.
All right, let's move on. Karax, where do we have him?
Karax is really good against the rifts and defending all the stray units that might come out of the rifts. But pushing wise, it's a little bit worse. But I say on this map you actually have a lot of time, so I think Karax should be in A tier.
A tier.
Because because you have a lot of time to build up, and then you can even you can have cannons in places to defend, and also spread some cannons across the map, and you still can make a few carriers to push into final enemy to final base.
All right.
And other bases, I think you can do just with Spear of Adun. So I think A tier is fair for Karax.
How about you, Twotuuu?
So with P3, the Purifier Beam is ready every 3 minutes. Attack waves come every 3 minutes.
You just hold
So
for that.
once you have it, the attack waves are just like dead.
Well, I
And-
wouldn't use Purifier Beam for attack waves.
You
Rather
should.
Solar Lens. Why not?
You
Why not
should.
Solar Lens? Why not Solar Lens?
When you have things under control, then you can Solar Lance. But until you have like full control of the second area, you should Purifier Beam. You don't need it for the third area because you're not going there yet. But when you have everything under control, then you can Purifier Beam the third area, and you actually don't make carriers. You just make Mirages because they're
okay. Yeah, Mirages.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Mirages
Mirages are also fair, and they're cheaper, and yeah.
Oh, and another thing is that Karax's static D is not affected by Twister, and Karax's probe has an extra Unity barrier, so that if you get slapped by a Twister, you're not dead. So
yeah, that's
you get Repair Beam, so you kind of get healed. So it's pretty convenient. I put Karax in A.
All right. I was also briefly considering Karax for S, but because of all the things you said, I personally would rather use Purifier Beams for the attack waves, so that I can just use the Sorrow Lance anytime I feel like it on offense or on sniping stuff. And I'd rather not have to think about when I have a topper ready for an attack wave, if that makes sense. It's just ready whenever the attack wave arrives, and that's my kind of notification that an attack wave is about to arrive, is when my Purifier Beam is ready. So, and for pushing, I prefer Mirages here personally, so I can just dodge the shots and just kind of fly around to the unreachable spaces, snipe everything that tries to shoot me, and then just
yeah, honestly, I
back.
forgot. I didn't even think of Mirages, but yeah, Mirages are actually better than carriers because they are faster built and cheaper. So.
And yes,
yeah.
I was considering them briefly for S, but I remember the other guy who was definitely S, and they're not that level, so I also put him in A.
Oh, I can think of this other guy.
Prestige-wise, I think you want the third one here, even though the Mirages will be cheaper, right?
The third one's the only real choice.
The only real choice.
Controlling Rift.
I was thinking
army units.
I was thinking you can also use the second one if you can upgrade your Spear of Doom quickly enough, and you can have a spread of Zealots and Observers on the map.
With that.
That's a flex, because like Twister is gonna block you a lot.
Yes, it's like an alternate thing if you are pretty good at the game, which I'm not. So I'll use the third one anyway. So let's move on. Kerrigan, where do we have him?
Kerrigan is not so good on this map because of the first wave and the fact that she has like hardly anything. Then she's not so good against rifts because they also hit early.
Yes.
So another thing is once Kerrigan is out, if you're still alive, Kerrigan has to do a lot of micro, like so much work. You have to be jumping around, going back, getting healed if you're hurt, and like your Omega Worms will keep getting slapped by trickles. So you have to pop out and kill them, and then pop in, go to the next one. It's like you have to keep an eye on all your Omega Worms so that they don't die. Eventually you get like Ultralisks, because Hydras and Zerglings will just get killed by Twisters because they get slapped a lot. So it's basically only Ultras. It's really hard. And if the enemy comp is not favorable for you, that makes it even harder. I put Kerrigan in D.
D. Oh my goodness, worse than Artanis and Fenix. How about you, Baumanmarketing?
If you have an ally, that Omega Works will help ally a lot. So for that reason, she might go up in C, you know. But yes, I do agree that it's bad. Most her small units get killed. I don't know, maybe Broodlords would work because they can cut corners, you know. You just need to kill some important stuff with your mobilization wave, like Vipers or Ravens or the air units that can harm Broodlords. I think Broodlords could work.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, can you really do that with everything else happening at the same time?
Well, yeah, that's a lot micro intensive.
So what do you think, Twotuuu? How does C sound?
No way, because she can't kill the first two rifts unless you're lucky, and then you kill the rifts, if the enemy comp is not good for you, you need like 4 spines or more to survive.
Okay, yeah, early.
So it's like she does like nothing.
Yes.
But
for late game, for late game, she's not so bad, you know, because you have the spread of these Omega Worms and you have the presence. So
it's her spread is no better than Artanis or Phoenix's observer spread.
Okay, but they cannot tank, you know. The worms can tank and they can transport Kerrigan. So that's also the creep benefits.
If you lose Kerrigan, it's game over. So
okay, that is true. It is true. But immobilization wave also helps a bit.
Void Rifts and Rifts to Core Hall is all about early game, and she has neither. Like the very early game, not like everything before 4 minutes, and she is not good at either.
Kerrigan's game begins at 4 minutes, and you have plenty of chance to die before then. Yes.
Yeah, her Zerglings suck pretty much, you know. They are They're not nearly as good as Zagaras, so that is the truth. Okay, that might be D tier, but
All
just
right.
because of that early game.
Yeah, I actually had him also in C tier, but both of you guys agreed in D tier. Let's put him in D tier. What prestige do we want? Oh wait, I guess it doesn't matter. If you use D tier, let's do whatever you
No,
want.
no, you should use 0.
No prestige.
P0, not P3.
So if you use prestige, it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be E tier or just lower D.
But
Just
okay,
lower.
but the poly of man actually isn't so bad when you're sniping rifts, because then you just jump on the rifts, and any trickles that come out of the rift get killed by the fury. So it's actually not so bad, and you can jump around.
But the downside to
which
that,
can be tricky.
the downside to that is that charging up your zap takes time, and time is your most precious resource when playing against Void Rifts, because you have 90 seconds to snipe all of them and defend your base from whatever trickle comes and do the rest of the map.
Well, you charge on the go. You charge on the rifts or on the units, so you kind of it isn't so much of a problem. But
Yes, it
has
is.
upsides and downsides. Okay.
All right.
It's very noticeable. The rifts dies. Another thing is that the P2 gives less carapace, and when you're jumping around, you're getting hit. And if you get less carapace, you're gonna get hurt a lot.
And when you get thrown around, you can't shoot either. When you get thrown around by
Yeah.
the tornadoes. So it's not something I would recommend. But then again, like I said, if you choose Kerrigan, despite seeing this tier list, it's on you. Let's move on. Nova, where do we have him?
You can have marines, and you can have a defensive drone, and that's pretty much it. So
Hold on
for
for
early
dear life.
game,
I played-
you can also
I played
and
Nova
you
here.
you can wall off, and you can hold on for dear life. So for later game, she also doesn't have a lot to deal with the rifts.
That's
I
right.
mean, you can spread stuff, but those stuff are very expensive.
That's true.
And okay, for pushing in, it's not problem if you're infiltration specialist, but then you have less units.
You don't want to play late game as Nova. That's true.
She is no better than Kerrigan in my opinion here. So she's also C to D, maybe D tier.
How about you, Twotuuu?
Nova is far better than Kerrigan.
You think?
Nova P3. The purpose of P3 is not to go on offense. The purpose of P3 is to clear rifts that are hard to reach. And yeah, you use liberators like you normally do, and you only need like 4. You don't really need a lot. You can of course walk close to the rifts and then use your nuke and then kill a lot of the enemies that are already there. Saves a lot of work. Like you don't have to do so much. For rifts, you use banshees. It's like Alarak. You use banshee hit squads everywhere, and it's not easy, but it's not that bad. You just have to know what to do.
Okay, they are close, so that
yeah,
helps.
they're close, which is very helpful.
But getting there is the problem. They are all okay. Benches are not so expensive as liberators, but they're not cheap either. And but I guess so. You use both Nova and Banshees just to clear rifts. Okay, that sounds actually easier than Kerrigan. But early game is still kinda,
It's you can drop marines. So if you do a Void Rifts build order, the one that I use, then you get to drop marines on the rifts by like 225.
That's pretty early.
Since you can move SCVs out, you can drop marines onto a close rift and just kill it, and then walk home before the attack wave gets there, and then
you wall off.
Drone and you kill it.
And you wall off.
You don't wall off.
You don't wall
You
off.
don't need to wall off. I left one rift alone. I killed one rift and I left the other one alone until Nova came out, and you can survive.
Sorry,
until
Twotuuu.
Nova comes out.
Is that the custom mutation version of the Void Rift or the live mutation version of the Void Rift? Because those are two different Void Rifts.
The regular one where they trickle lings and marines.
Okay, yeah, because if you're playing a custom, the Void Rift spawn units a bit later. So that's important to know, because if you can defend something on the custom mutation without spawning units, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will also do the same thing on the real live version. So I was kind of skeptical about it, but if you say it is, then I kind of have to believe you. So letter
Oh, I put Nova in B.
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 What do you think, Baumanmarketing?
Interesting. Oh, I don't know. I still I'm scared of the early game, especially if you get some pretty bad enemy composition. So because you have nothing but marines, so I don't know.
A bit of a disclaimer.
It's more like
I played
it's
the
more
first
like-
prestige here, so it looks a little different. I rushed out the starport and just kind of used that to tank until Nova is out. It was a painful experience. I used a Raven
I
to kind
can
of
imagine that.
to kind of stall. Yeah.
So I don't know. It feels more for me like C than B, but okay. I mean, I'm not soloing these mutations like Twotuuu does. So
All right. So
probably.
you're saying B is okay.
He thinks it's C. I mean, let's see.
I mean, I'm comparing Nova against Dehaka and Alarak. I guess she has a case against Alarak since she does pretty much the same thing. But like
She does the same thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just really iffy about the early game.
Yep, that's
Like Alarak has a
what I agree
mothership.
on. Yeah, mothership is better
true.
than Marines. Mothership is definitely better than
I
Marines.
suppose.
Yeah.
I guess maybe it's
A lower B?
inflated. I have inflated because I know exactly what to do. So if someone doesn't know exactly what to do, then they're kind of screwed. So if you say it's like C, I can kind of see it.
You can
C.
see it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Top of-
you
maybe-
can see it.
Maybe top of C. Maybe we can do top of C. So it's a compromise. C for compromise. There we go. All right. Let's put Nova in C. Again, I didn't play the best here. You saw my video if you did. Yeah, even the car agrees. If you saw the video, you'll know that I played Nova very bad here. And I kind of got to where I needed to be because I had an ally. And I
Which commander was your ally?
Artanis.
Oh, okay. At least you got Guardian Shell.
Yes.
Or did you?
I did.
Okay, that
Anyway,
helps.
like I said, you don't want to play if you play like I did and just F2 all around because I'm not good enough to have separate hotkeys. Or well, I can, but I actually hit that button from time to time. So, it just kind of comes off at some point.
I
Anyway,
also hit that button
more
more often than
you
time
don't want to
time.
play
Okay.
late game with Nova. So what I did is I just kind of sniped all the shards I can use the liberators before like the 22-minute mark or something. So I didn't want to get to the late game. I just kind of had to end it before things got too crazy. But anyway, are we okay with C?
All right.
All right, let's put him in C. So Twotuuu recommends the third prestige. You use Nova to sneak around and destroy the far rifts, and you use
Pretty much.
the covert banshees to patrol or just station themselves, garrison themselves on specific spots, and not use all army hotkey. Which, if you can do that, you're better than me. Let's move on. Raynor,
Okay.
where do we have him?
Raynor. So Raynor is I tried P1 and P1 is generally good against rifts because of the stronger early game, but Twister is a pain. Twister, like slapping his bio is really painful. So P1 is actually not good. I use P3 and you double bunker and you hold on for dear life until you get Dusk Wings, and then you eventually get some air units to lower the cooldown, and then battle cruisers. And then once you have 4 battle cruisers, the rifts are actually kind of free because you just teleport 1 battle cruiser, kill a rift, and repeat.
Just
and
make
then
sure not
all your
to-
extra battle cruisers are on offense.
Just make sure not to teleport into a Twister and then get thrown into the middle of the enemy defenses.
Yeah. Hopefully not.
By the way, bunkers are low key pretty good against are pretty good at holding on against the rifts. Like, if you remember, I'm pretty sure you were already playing when the first time this came around. The first time this came around, I was watching other streamers do it. Like I remember Nathanias. He was playing like either Nathanias or Rifkin. One of them used.
Nathanias always play battle cruisers.
This was in the early
Okay,
days of
maybe.
co-op, 2016. I remember he used. Oh, wait, he was playing with someone. I think he was playing with a Korean. He was playing with someone, and he needed. The guy recommended that they make bunkers, and Nathanias sounded like incredulous, like bunkers. How is that gonna help? A single bunker against all, and it did help a lot. They did hold on until the Duskwings came, and so yeah, bunkers low key, pretty effective against the early rift. So that's my story for today. Bunkers are low key good against early rifts. Anyway, letter
I put Raynor in C.
C. Okay, how about you, Baumanmarketing?
Well, I can agree on this. Raynor can drop units on the battlefield, and you think that's really good, but then then things start going
Sideways.
downhill. If you
Downhill.
are not very fast, if you're not on top of things, it's similar to like the chicken man said about Abathur. He's a 6K player in spirit, but he throws so much that he struggles to make 5K. So it's similar things like with Raynor. You
Yeah.
you can throw pretty fast if you are not on top of things. So
Or if
that's,
you don't throw yourself, the tornado will do the throwing for you. He'll throw your guys like all the directions. We were talking about directions here: sideways, downhill, up in flames, all around, like all the directional things. Your tornado things will throw you every which way. But yeah, letter Baumanmarketing.
Yeah, I can agree on C because you have to. Raynor can be good. Raynor is in most mutations. Raynor can be really good, but you have to be very fast. Otherwise, he's not good.
Most mutations, Raynor can be very good. I guess if you're Lila.
I mean, yeah. I was thinking about that. No, if you're really
alright.
good.
So both of you are okay with C?
Yeah.
All right, let's put him in C. Prestige-wise, no prestige.
3.
Third one? Oh, you want the third? Oh, so
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
get
3.
more top bars. Very neat. All right.
Yeah, for top bars.
That's-
Best
P3.
prestige is P3.
That's
no matter what
fun.
people say. His best.
All right. Let's put Raynor in C. Prestige-wise, you want the third one. Stetboy, where do we have him?
Strong, but also early game not very strong because his Zerglings are maybe a little bit better than Kerrigan's.
They have the zone. That's about it.
But yeah, they do have the zone, but not much better. Not like Zagaras, who morphed instantly. You have more of them, and you can also have Banelings. So okay, we didn't yet get to Zagara, but yeah, I think Stetmann can be. I mean, if you can survive early game, then you can just spam the roaches and ravagers, but they also get thrown around by the tornadoes. So. I don't know about Stetmann. Stetmann will also be maybe C.
Maybe C. How about you, Twotuuu?
His early game is better because he has a green zone, and you can get the hardened shields before you get Super Gary. Some people think you have to get Super Gary as soon as he comes out. Not really, because P2 regular Gary is still strong, so he's still stronger. And for the mid to late game, the Lings can get the close rifts, and then Gary flies around and kills far rifts. So Gary zone is really good because you get it like every minute, and the rifts come every minute and a half. So you have a Gary zone for every big spawn. And then for offense, you use Corruptors. Super Gary is doing everything. So he's flying around, and then he will kill all the enemies that can hit air, and then the Corruptors get to attack for free. And the shards can't hurt air units. I think Stetmann should also be in C.
Okay, I actually had Stetboy in B, but both of you guys said C, so let's put him in C. Stukov, where do we have him?
Stukov, he's also he's bad. So against the first rifts, his one option you have is to use a barracks and make like 10 marines. But if they're not next to you, if the rift is not near you, you won't kill it. Plus, that doesn't exactly help you survive the first wave. You can't really survive the first wave, so you probably need a bunker and you need to repair it. So, and then you need infrastructure. Then you need banshees. The banshees, the way you deal is you unburrow, right click the rift, right click the ground, and then burrow. You have to shift click all that. Otherwise, if you don't do that, the banshees will get killed. So it's a lot of work. I tried Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks are not good when there are twisters slapping them and they regen so slowly. For offense, you use more banshees, and you use Alexander to steal all the air units, and then use banshees to kill all the ground units. It's very, very hard to do. I put Stukov in D.
D. Oh my goodness. How about you, Baumanmarketing?
I was thinking about using P2 and throwing you dudes from banshees on the rifts,
If
but
you get there.
that's just a meme stuff. Yeah, that's even more work. So yeah, I also don't see very, very good thing for Stukov early game because, and even like if you go Lord of the Horde, for example, even late game, if you have a lot of bunkers, if you get tornadoes in bad spots, they all just your dudes will all just get thrown around and do nothing, so they can even get through. So and for the rifts, also a lot of work to do for the. Yeah, I agree with D actually.
Okay, let's put him in D. Again, if you choose to play this commander, just use whatever you feel like, because clearly you don't listen. Or, you just kind of like to live dangerously. Swann, where do we have him?
Swann is not so bad. You have a good defense at home. You can have turrets very early. You have Hercules to snipe the rifts. Pushing is maybe the hardest part, but...
What do you mean? Use rates.
But you can... I think you don't need to use heavy weapon specialist here because it's better to have the top bars to clear the enemy bases or help clearing them. And I think it's like A to B, maybe.
Okay. How about
maybe
you?
like
How about you, Twotuuu?
First wave, he survives easily, so you don't even have to kill the rifts, but you can float your factory towards one of them and then wait till warbots to kill the other ones.
Yeah.
First wave, easily handled. You can hold on for like pretty much forever. For later on, you just let the attack waves hit your base. Hopefully there are no immortals. If there are immortals, then you need something else. But for the most part, most attack waves will die to your turrets, and your concentrated beam can kill one or sometimes two rifts. Just by aiming at one of them, you kill another one.
So you would use concentrated beam for the rifts, not to... Okay, I guess you can shoot the rifts and then it will also clear some of the enemy bases, hopefully.
And then pulse cannon will cover like the majority of any area. So you can pulse cannon and then your wraiths get to attack for free.
Yeah.
So yeah, and your wraiths also incidentally, like when the wraiths in the mid to late game, you can fly around with wraiths and kill the rifts. I saw a new method of sniping rifts that I've never seen before. I saw some guy he has 4 Hercules and 4 Thors, and then when rifts show up, he just teleports 1, 2, 3, 4, and then Thor the 330 cannon on the rifts, and it dies.
That's funny.
That is
okay.
It's not even meme. It was like legit strong.
That's actually good. I thought about Thors are kind of expensive to get, but
it doesn't have to be mutually exclusive. It can be a meme and good. It can be a good meme. Anyway, so letter.
I put Swann in B.
B. Okay, so both of you are okay with B. Let's put in B. I actually had it in B. It's Bwan. It's Bwan time again. I think you alluded to having no prestige, Twotuuu, or second one.
0 or 2.
All right.
You're making rates, so 0, I think.
Yeah, 0. I think.
It's 0.
You want the top bars to be able to clear the rifts and clear the bases. So let's put Swann in B. Tychus, where do I have him?
I beat this with Undermined together with this one. So I added the Minesweeper and I beat it on the first try. So it's that easy.
It's that easy. How about you, Baumanmarketing?
Yeah. Okay, I must admit that when there are Void Rifts, I kind of find Abathur actually easier to play than Tychus, but I actually don't play a lot of Lone Wolf. And so, yeah, with a little bit of practice, I think S tier could be okay. But the reason I don't play on solo queue, at least, Lone Wolf so much is because people get angry because I do everything and they're left with nothing. So,
it's too good.
So that's why. Yeah, but yeah, I can see.
All
the only
right.
thing you need to hold on for like first 40 seconds before the Tychus gets out, but
It's
kind
fine.
of
You can do it. Anyway,
you
yeah.
can do it, yeah, with a single turret or something.
Tychus is that guy. He is the S tier.
And as for the first wave, you can build nothing and just let the enemies hit your buildings, and Tychus will come out in time. You can build like a almost finished eBay to stall them. Like even Lings will hit. They will hit your stall building, and then Tychus will come out just as they reach your command center.
Neat.
So they won't hurt you. They can't. They won't kill you.
All right.
Yeah, only Reapers can be a little bit bad, but yeah, I think even they will not destroy you.
Vorazun, where do we have
I
him?
mean, yeah, you can wall off. With Vorazun, I think you always wall off with the pylon range mastery, and then you can hold because nothing will come with detection, so nothing will destroy a wall, and then you use Shadow Guard to snipe, and then later you use your Dark Templar spread around to snipe the shards, and you don't F2, of course.
Yes.
And
You
for
can
pushing,
do-
you use kind of.
You can do a lot of incredible things if you don't use all army hotkey. I know Vorazun is probably not one of the S tiers for this one. I played a game with Ankalagan. He plays Vorazun. He made this mutation look like a complete joke with how
And did he go for mass oracles? Because I know he likes to do that.
he likes to meme. But you'll have to watch that
Did
video.
you fight? What enemy did you fight?
You know what? I didn't even notice. I was busy.
Because-
When we play mutations with Void Rifts, I tend to not remember the enemy comps. You'll have to forgive me.
Because for Vorazun, it matters a lot.
Yeah,
I
that is true.
guess.
If you get like Banlik Scourge,
Maybe I was the
That
guy
is,
dealing with the attack waves. I didn't really remember. But you know, suffice to
If you
say,
get Protoss, almost any Protoss, okay, Protoss ground, that's easy. If you get like Baneling Scourge, I mean, even Science Vessels are annoying if they radiate you. Radiate is one spell, it's the most, that is hardest to split against, so yeah, I can see that. I mean, you have a lot of micro to do, so I think it would be like B tier.
B tier. What do you think, Twotuuu?
If you're fighting Terran, it's so easy that you can just kill everything. So if you're fighting Terran, it's like A. If you're fighting anything else, which is most of the time, it's not even close. Like the reason is that if in the early game they will send detectors, and the detectors won't die because you won't have Corsairs yet. So they're gonna follow your Dark Templar around, and the enemies that are near the trickles, they might start killing your Dark Templar because they can see you. So it's very different if they can see you and when you're unopposed. And also you can't wall the ramp in the beginning, because if they come from the sides, you don't have enough buildings.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
if there's Reapers, that's the thing. But if they're Vikings, it's no problem because they come pretty late and they're just 3 Vikings. There's not a lot of DPS, so you practically have Shadow Guards like 4 seconds.
I'm not talking about the attack wave. I'm talking about the void rifts.
Yeah,
If
the
the rifts
the
spawn
rift
at the
trickles.
naturals, they'll come from the sides and not
Kinda
at the
screwed.
front door.
Yeah.
So you can wall yourself off, but you can't really wall off your ally, and you can't do anything until 3 minutes. So if your ally dies, then sorry.
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
I put Vorazun in C because
C.
yeah, it really depends on enemy comp.
I also have Vorazun C, by the way, for the record. But unless you're someone like Stick Spender or Ankalagan, someone like that, or maybe Europrime. Oh no, Europrime played Kerrigan. Anyway, what do you think, Baumanmarketing? Is C okay for you?
I was thinking about B, but then yeah, if you have the like sideways rifts and the trickles come from the sides, then and it might be C. Yeah, I would kind of high C, you know.
High C. Okay.
High
C's
C.
Vorazun.
B
High
to
C.
high C.
Let's move on. Zagara. Where do we have him?
Zagara, of course, P3. P1 is like D tier here. P1 is like D to E. Actually, I would say P1 is like E tier. For P3, you get to deep tunnel to like any far rifts, and you can roach drop on another. Like if there's a rift in the pirate ship area, the second bonus, just don't deep tunnel there. Just drop roaches. You don't kill it until way later because it's too dangerous.
Yeah, you have benches, you have vines.
Can't you just roll
And then
Fenix into it?
for offense, you can use bio launchers on 1, 2, 3, 4 of the 10 shards.
Nice.
So you can so for the first one's free. The second one, the right one, you can kill with just Zagara. The one in the middle, you need a little more health, but you can also kill that. The top left one in the third area, Zagara deep tunnel and kill that. The other two you can use bio launchers. And then for the last area, the left one can be hit by bio launchers. The front one in the middle, yes. And then the right one you use Zagara plus roach drop. You clear with roach drop and Zagara. The last one you use Scourge.
Yeah, Scourge, of course. I mean, you can scourge every shard, but okay, if you're not P1, then you have less scourge, so that's fair. But yeah, definitely P3.
All right.
Spy launchers are actually better just because you don't have to pay attention. You don't have to you just build like 3 of them and then shoot the spot and they won't get attacked.
Neat.
I put Zagara in A. Zagara can handle the first rifts easily and the first wave.
Yeah, you have Banelings.
Yeah.
All right. How about
and
you,
then Zagara comes out and then take care of the rest.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I mean, I would also put her in A because of all these things to said.
Half a Brutalist gets you an A. Let's move on. Zeratul, where do we have him?
Okay, you use Zoraya Legion for this. Even if enemy is Zerg, I think it's probably better to use Zoraya because Zoraya can fly and that's better against rifts. And then you can use Void Templars to snipe the rifts and use cannons to push. Probably Knowledge Seeker, but I think maybe an Sun also works because then you can project without being opposed and not search for so many fragments. On this map you cannot trap them, so it works either Knowledge Seeker or either P1 or P2. And later I see Zeratul actually even A tier. And you're also good observers for, so you can also use cannons against the rift. So A tier, maybe even S tier.
Okay, how about you, Twotuuu?
One, never use P1 versus Void Rifts because your teleport is so useful against rifts. Two, you should always use the Telbrus Legion, against rifts because
Why Telbrus?
Telbrus stops the first wave. You don't use Zoraya to kill rifts. So you use Zoraya to kill the objective, but you don't need to. So you're basically using Telbrus to fight attack waves or units on the ground. You kill rifts with invisible dudes who can't fight, who like they kill for free, basically.
Invisible
and then
men.
Zeratul, he's jumping around in the back. I did this as level 1 Zeratul, and Zeratul P3, you just spin like for offense. You spin to win, and then your DTs can control all the rifts, and then you have cannons. You can even with when you can project cannons, you don't need P1's super cloak. You just project so much that they can't. You project so many that they can't kill all of them. I put Zeratul A because you still have to work.
Okay, are you okay with A Baumanmarketing?
Okay, high A.
High A. All right, let's put Zeratul
A.
Prestige wise, do you want the third one here? Spin to win?
0, 2, or 3. Not
0,
1.
2, or 3. Just not the first one. All right. There's only one guy in S. He's not double S, is he? He still has to work, right?
No, he's
No. Nobody is double S when you have rifts.
All right, singular S. Who's best in A tier?
Still probably Zeratul because DTs are invisible, so you can
I was thinking
slash.
maybe Hot and Horner because they just make the rifts completely not a thing.
No. They're not that good. No.
You sure?
Pushing wise, I think they are harder than Zeratul and
yeah, but rift wise, you don't have to think. Just click, dead.
Or like Karax, you don't have to kill the rifts so quickly. You don't have to rush because you won't die. Your cannons are so good. There's no rush.
So you think Karax is best in
For
A?
Zeratul, you don't need to rush to kill anything. Your units are so strong.
So you think Karax is best in A or Zeratul?
Zeratul's best.
Zeratul's best in A. Okay. Who's next?
Karax, probably.
Karax, okay. And then
Karax, yeah. Then Manx, because
Earth
map
Splitter
is
guy.
free.
Map is free. Just look for someone to deal with the mutators, the rifts. Then you can just end the map in like 10 minutes. Like no joke, 10 minutes.
He can also contaminated strike the waves, so they don't even attack.
They don't even attack. The next
Han
Abathur?
Horner.
Oh, Han Horner. Okay. Then Abathur.
Then Abathur, then
Zagara, because Zagara's half a brutalist.
Oh, I didn't even. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I love Abathur, but I can agree on this because he's very race dependent. So yeah.
Okay.
Unlike these other ones.
Who's top of B?
Dehaka.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. Then Swann.
Then Swann.
And Alarak.
Then Alarak.
Okay.
Swann, you can leave like 4 rifts alone and you still won't die. You just get to them eventually.
Okay. Who's top of C?
Oh. Man.
That's hard.
Nova?
I was gonna say Nova.
All right, Nova it is. Then
the other ones are like they're challenging in their own way.
Yes. Stetboy, once you get to the late game, it's essentially free, right?
Then it's just the surviving until then part.
But yeah, an argument could be made that for voided mutations, the early game is always the more important part. In which case, Fenix might have a good argument.
Fenix is extremely busy. Like,
yes,
it's very, very taxing. I don't recommend.
So he's like close to the bottom.
In terms of just simply commander effectiveness, he's more effective than most of these. But like execution is, you have to know what you're doing the whole time, and you have to like understand what you're doing. Because if you don't, if you get lost, if you're confused, like what should I do next, then you're just like out of position and stuff.
Okay, so who would you put over Fenix though? Artanis?
I think Artanis is simple because it's just
Tempests and sniping. Okay, let's put Artanis second in C. After Artanis, do we have Stetboy or Raynor?
Yes, I think
Stetboy. Okay. Stetboy, and then Fenix, Raynor, Vorazun.
I would put Fenix, then Raynor, then Vorazun.
Okay, it's already correct.
Vorazun last, really, before Fenix and Raynor.
Well, actually, no. Time stop is too good.
Time stop is too
good. Yeah, because you time stop and two or more shards are just gone.
So yeah, Vorazun should actually, I think, be in front of Fenix and Raynor.
Is it okay?
I don't think Vorazun controls rifts better than Lone Wolf Light. At least not until like it matters. Like in the up until 8 minutes, like Fenix is just so much better.
Okay.
So who's better, Vorazun or Raynor?
Vorazun.
Okay.
Horizon.
Then it's Nova, Artanis, Stetboy, Phoenix, Vorazun, Raynor. Finally, we have Stukov and Kerrigan. Who's better between them?
So Kerrigan is simpler to use. Like how to understand what to do. Kerrigan's easier. Stukov can actually survive better until 4 minutes because he just repairs a bunker and has infrastructure. He can actually survive a lot easier.
Okay.
So kind of yeah, but later on, like to kill rifts and executing stuff with Stukov is much harder.
Okay. So
I would
Yeah.
put Kerrigan
Yeah.
just because.
All
And
right.
no immobilization wave for Stukov, so
All
that
right.
helps definitely.
So last thing, do we have synergies of commanders B tier or lower who are better than Tychus on his own?
Better than Tychus.
How about Swann and Stetboy? Because Stetboy just needs to get to the late game.
Okay, I mean, Swann can snipe the shards if he has vision of them, but I don't think Swann can snipe actually all of them on the site of Aemon.
Satellites.
Yeah. That's satellites or Nova infiltration special or something, but I don't think that Swann can actually snipe all
Yes,
rifts
he can.
in time.
It's been done
He
before.
can?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know he can on Skype of Aemon, but I'm not sure about the rifts to core hull because they're multiple, so they don't have that
They're
many
like
HP.
4,000 health each. Like the total health of the void shards on this map is 45,000. Oh, is it 54,000? I think it's 45.
It's 5500, right? Isn't it? 47,500.
Yes. Oh, actually, yeah. The Rifts of Coral has slightly more. It's actually comparable, though. I still think you have enough time. Anyway, I still think that Stetboy and Swann are good enough to be better than Tychus on his own. So that's one. How about Artanis and Alarak? Or Artanis and Dehaka? Yeah, Alarak's pretty good early game. So he can get like Nova, Artanis, Stetboy to where they need to be be truly effective. Dehaka also pretty good in the early, though Dehaka is pretty hectic. So I guess Alarak plus one of the Nova, Alarak or Swann and one of Nova, Artanis, that boy be good enough to be S tier. All right, that's pretty much it, guys. Watch Twotuuu and Baumanmarketing channels. I will link them down below. See you guys next time.